the Pod Network Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, our special musical guest, Billie Eilish.
Okay.
So you're a tough guy, like it really rough guy, just can't get enough guy, just always so puff guy. I'm the bad type, make your mama sad type, make your girlfriend mad type, might seduce your dad type. I'm the bad guy. Ding, 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 dong, 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 dong.
This looks so wrong, by the way.
Oh! Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no,
Gumagano-gano
no.
ka pa.
No, 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 no.
Ayun yung ginagawa mo pag tapos na, no?
Ay, nako.
And
Can
our
you
next
please...
musical guest.
Oh, okay.
Please welcome Britney Spears.
Oh.
She's so low-key. She's a star, but she cry.
Oh, alangan namang patalo tayo sa generational
Oh,
the generation gap.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, gay icon and just icon in general, Kylie Minogue.
Okay.
I should be so low-key, 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 low-key. I should be so low-key in love.
Ladies and gentlemen, from I don't know who, but also from a generation that Chico has lived through. Just got low-key.
Oh!
Just got low. Oh, sige pa. And I never felt this way before.
Ay, nako, favorite ko yan. High school ako niyan.
Sino nga ba kumanta nun? Let's see. Just it's called
Joe
Just Got
Boxers. No.
Yeah, Joe Boxers.
Joe Boxers.
Yeah.
Joe Boxers.
Well, clearly you already know what show we're going to be talking about in this episode. But
Obviously.
Welcome to Only Fun. His name is Chico Garcia.
And his name is Gino Killiamore. And
That's right.
Okay. So, given that our the show that we're doing today is Loki, which you can catch on Disney Plus, we might as well have Penis or Not Penis.
That's
okay?
Right.
So,
okay, for those of you who are not familiar with Penis or Not Penis, basically these are the shows that we actually got to watch all throughout the end.
Yeah.
So there might be some spoilers if people are still trying to avoid spoilers for it, but the Penis or Not Penis for today is for Ahsoka. All right. So
yes.
Just so you know, we're going to be slightly. I mean, it's not a deep dive.
It's not. Yeah.
But we are going to be talking about it. So possible spoilers. Actually, no spoilers ahead. Warning.
Okay.
For Ahsoka. Okay.
Just for Ahsoka.
All right.
We can't really spoil Loki kasi isang episode pa lang naman.
Isang episode pa lang siya. Spoilers ahead in 3, 2, 1.
Spoiler. Okay, that's our new spoiler stinger. That's our new spoiler stinger.
Every day it gets harder to do this show.
I wonder why. It's so exciting. You don't know what the new spoiler stinger will be, So, okay.
You're right. I can't tell what the new spoiler stinger will be, but for some weird reason, I can see where it's going, and it's always going down,
And I did, diba? Spoiler. I was going down. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so...
You were just looking for an excuse to do it again.
I know, right? Okay, so for Ahsoka, I really, really enjoyed yung
Sabine.
Was it
No,
episode 5 and 6?
5 and 6. Is this when Sabine finally found Ezra?
That and also the whole Ahsoka.
Oh, the whole Ahsoka
Anakin.
versus Anakin, of course.
Kasi parang, it's like...
Grabe yung kilig levels.
Yeah, yeah.
And can I just say, while we're at it, can I just say how happy I am that finally Hayden Christensen is getting love for his role or his portrayal of it. And he's such a sweetheart. Like, if you've seen all of his interviews, you've probably seen how like there was this one interview where he legit teared up. Alam mo yun, because he got so much flack for how he portrayed Anakin Skywalker in the prequels. Mostly because, well, let's face it, the Star Wars
Yeah.
fandom is kind of toxic.
Brutal. Ano kinda? They're
Brutal. Yeah,
brutal.
remember what they
Brutal.
did to
Jar Jar
Rose.
Binks.
No, well, outside of Jar Jar Binks for the new trilogy, see Rose.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-uh.
Yeah,
Uh,
she had to quit social media just because of how bad it
mm,
was. You know what I mean? Like
mhm.
it's not something that's easy. It's a kid who played Anakin Skywalker.
Jake Tambalino.
Jay,
Yeah, Rumbo. Jake.
alam mo,
Yung
i-google ko na lang
Baksutro.
kasi ang lungkot eh. Ang lungkot ng na nagiging last name niya eh. Jake
Alam mo
Lloyd,
yung Lloyd.
who was a child
A
at the time that
child.
Star Wars came out.
Uy, sobra siyang ano ha. You know, that's no laughing
Kawawa
matter.
yung,
Sobra siyang
exactly.
na-traumatized. Like, he was traumatized for life. PTSD levels. Si
And as
Jake
in,
Lloyd. He
it
didn't
did
want to
not
act
turn out.
anymore. Like,
It did not turn out very well for him. Like, as
mm,
in, he had a slew of uh, basically not great things happen in his life. So, yeah, it's that bad. And luckily for Hayden Christensen, he was a little bit older than Jake Lloyd was, so I guess he was able to handle it a little bit better. But the world was not kind to Hayden Christensen, and
at
like,
saka ano, it was always a joke. So parang, like, I guess years after,
mm,
parang it's nice to have like, kumbaga sa anime, may redemption arc.
may redemption
Yung
arc
parang,
siya, yeah.
meron siyang redemption arc na after all that abuse, I love it because like, yeah, parang, yun nga, na parang like, alam mo yung,
There's retribution.
gives you a different kind of, you know how it is with social media and entertainment. Yung parang what is seen as a joke during one era. Pag kunyari may ibang lumabas na, tas yun na yung parang tigbak of the day, parang
Mm.
suddenly yung dating tinitigbak, parang, ay, buti pa yun, at least yun, ganito, ganyan.
Yeah.
Yung suddenly, when they hate something else more, parang suddenly, yung binabash nila noon, suddenly becomes a point of comparison. Don't you ever see that
Yeah.
happening all the time?
Yeah.
Yung dati, ayaw na ayaw mo siya, pero dahil meron kang ibang tinitigbak ngayon, may iba kang hine-hate ngayon. Suddenly, you're like, at least ito, when it came out, it was like
Yeah.
this, it was like that. So, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
so
I love
I'm just
how...
really happy for Hayden Christensen, and like, man, that interview where he teared up and like he was saying like, you guys really know how to make a guy feel loved. Like, alam mo yung parang finally after and it was not a short time, it was a long time coming. So parang finally after X amount of years, like he got that I guess that validation na parang, okay, I guess I did an okay job. You know what I mean? And now people are all praises about how he portrayed like the different, because obviously like there are different types of Anakin Skywalker. There's Anakin Skywalker from the Kenobi show. Now there's the Ahsoka Anakin Skywalker and multiple versions of him. So it's just nice that he gets that redemption arc.
Just to parang add lang to that, one recent example of that, Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man.
Yeah, for Spider-Man.
You know how
exactly, yeah.
parang in general, parang yun yung parang look down on version of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then, when the whole No Way Home, Far From Home, thing going on, multiverse.
The multiverse
Parang
thing happened.
suddenly, so many supporters saying, no, actually, that was the version that I liked most, which was practically absent before this whole thing happened, right?
Which is funny because
so many...
this actually ties in with another show that we're going to be talking
about.
I
know. I was going to say. Pero anyway, like, yeah, I mean, like, that side of it is very kilig, but also, I really enjoyed Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Pero I have to admit, of all the Star Wars shows that came out, this is the one that's the most bitin ending.
Oh, yeah.
Yung parang, you know what I mean? Like, for example, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Diba? Mandalorian 1, Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. Parang, it's a continuing story. Pero alam mo yung after each season, meron siyang arc na tinatapos.
Yeah.
Like it's ended in a certain way that,
It's like
yes, you know that
a
there's
close of a chapter in a book.
a
Alam mo yung
close of a
parang,
chapter. And the same with the others. But my gosh, with Ahsoka, it's like,
you know what I think they did with Ahsoka? I think they
you
did it.
did not end this arc.
You know how I feel like their blueprint for Ahsoka was. They did a Game of Thrones. You know how
Yeah.
Game of Thrones na usually episode 10 is not kaboom.
Mm,
It's medyo quiet lang as opposed to episode 9. Episode 9 is usually like holy shit, like what the hell just happened? Like Battle of the
mm.
Bastards, mga ganyang levels. And then episode 10 is more like, oh, okay, it's a quieter note, basically
Tas
just leading up to the next season.
prelude to the next season.
That's
No,
essentially how I saw Ahsoka. Like, kunwari, for the final episode of this season of Ahsoka, like it wasn't as strong as the other episodes. Like it basically was just okay. Oh, we're stranded here. I guess we'll find out what happens next. And then yeah,
I guess that's what makes it I get it that they took it from Game of Thrones. Kaya siya Game of Thrones. 'Di ba? Kasi parang like so basically Ahsoka was like Game of Thrones.
alam mo,
So
pwede ka sa Disney Plus kasi nakakasoka ka.
hindi, pero kasi okay, here's a little bit of a spoilery part. Yung parang hindi nila akala ko tatapusin nila yung the whole they'll stop Thrawn from coming back, and like literally walang na
No,
walang
wala.
na ano
Wala na ayos.
walang na, well, nahanap lang nila si Ezra, pero like you know
No.
what I mean,
Pero they
outside
just
of
traded
that
places, di ba? Like, oh, si Ezra
it
kayo
was
nandun. Pero,
I was like, no, you're not going to end it here.
Yeah.
Please tell me you're not
I
going to
think
end it here.
the highest note for that episode now was that Ezra finally saw si Hera again.
Yeah.
The that was the ano na. Pero parang shit, now what happens to Ahsoka and to Sabine? Diba? Pero tawang-tawa ako sa memes because like, you know how obviously Sabine is such a looker, right? And like in Rebels kasi they always kind of had like this weird friction ni Ezra and ni Sabine na parang Ezra kind of likes Sabine but they're also like siblings. Alam mo medyo ganun na parang obviously technically they're not even related at all but because they grew up together. Tapos there's this one shot where they're they're inside that pod thing. You know the pod of the locals
of the naughty.
Tapos si Sabine was firing somewhere to the back of the pod and then Ezra was looking to the left because there was another pod that was there. Pero the shot looked like he was checking out her ass. Tapos nakakatawa yung mga comments sa memes because everybody's like, bro, this man has not seen a girl in like 11 years, you know what I mean, or something like that.
A human. Di ba kasama niya mga mukhang hermit crab na creatures.
Tapos of course the usual like I watch Ahsoka for the plot and then that's the plot. Nakakatawa.
And can I just say before we wrap this little lang naman,
so
this little penis or not penis, can I just say that has got to be, you know, like especially post the movies, parang they're always introducing mga new creatures, new mga species, aliens. Yeah. Can I just say that the naughty has got to be one of the best
so
ones?
Cute. Yeah, they're so
they
cute.
are just so, I love them. Like if you tell me that there's going to be, I know, a new Disney Plus series na just purely the life of the naughties, I'm on board because I super love them. Oh, like I mean, hindi sila cute and cuddly, pero like they're so adorable.
They're adorable, yeah.
They're so lovable na gustong gusto ko sila. And to think they're hermit crabs, diba?
Yeah.
So like, wala lang. I love them.
Cute nila.
Okay, but that said, let's move on to like what we're going to actually be talking about this episode. The much awaited 2 years waiting season 2 of Loki.
Hey, what took you so long? I got lost. Huh? I got lost inside the mind of a genius. What? Can you imagine being at the center of 16 billion Da Vinci paintings through AI? It's like seeing what's inside Da Vinci's mind. The paintings are around you and above you and right through you. Oh, I can't explain it. The whole experience is trippy and wild and seriously amazing. You have to see it for yourself. Check out BGC Immersive Presents Wisdom of Da Vinci, a celebration of art, light, and technology. Get lost inside the mind of a genius. Use the code ONLYFUN150 to get a special discount when booking your tickets at bgcimmersive.com.
Yeah, and can I just say, Tom Hiddleston is like, wala. He is goated for being Loki. Wala na talaga. Alam mo yung parang he has achieved essentially what Robert Downey Jr. has with Iron Man,
Yeah.
what Chris Hemsworth has with Thor. You know what I mean? Or like it's just he is irreplaceable as Loki. Like I cannot distinguish between him and Loki anymore. Like the
Actually,
nuances which he's been able to keep up since the very
mm,
first time he showed up as
mhm.
Loki. He still has that. I mean, you know how kunwari parang Elizabeth Olsen, as much as I love her, in the first time that we ever saw Wanda or the Scarlet Witch, like she had this weird accent, which was essentially like their accent for what's the name of the city that like went up and down into the air.
Mm,
Uh
mm, mm, mm,
yeah, essentially that.
mm,
Like
mm.
and then nung later on na wala na, like full on American English na si Scarlet Witch, diba? But my God, like si Tom Hiddleston, like even the way he recovers after he kind of time slips,
Mm.
it's so reminiscent of the first time that I saw him in Avengers after he had dropped off of like one of the winged riders or the winged the gliders of the uh Chitauri.
Mm.
Alam mo yung parang may hair flip siya tapos ganun pa rin yung recovery look niya, and then even
Mm.
just the way he acts, it's like wala, ang consistent lang with how Loki was the first time that we ever saw it, and ang galing niya as Loki.
Actually, yun yung ano ko, like malalim yung hugot nung musical guest natin. Kasi nga parang for me, his character is very unique in the
Yeah.
MCU. Kasi Loki is the bad guy. You know, even
Yeah.
in the comic books, you know, Loki has always been the mischievous one.
Mischief.
Mischief siya talaga na wala up to no good.
Yeah.
And you know, for the most part in the Thor story up to the Avengers, talaga namang bad guy siya na meron lang siyang redemption arc at the end. Pero you know, in general, he's still the bad
You can't
Loki.
help it. You know what I mean? Like
So,
he's just Di ba nga
oo,
Thor
but
was like, you'll always be the god of mischief. That's it.
but I am 100% sure that this whole spin-off, kasi the whole concept of the show is that this is not the same Loki as the Loki that died in
Yeah.
Avengers.
This
You
is
know,
the
that this is
Loki that escaped when Tony Stark went back in time. Diba? This is
So-
the Loki that picked up the Tesseract.
put very simply, the Loki in the Avengers that was eventually killed
Yeah.
was the quote-unquote bad Loki with a little bit of a redemption towards the end.
Oh.
And the one in the TV show is the quote-unquote good Loki. The one na started out bad but saw na you know, for those
Ito
who've
pala yung
never watched
nangyayari,
season 1, pinapanood sa kanya yung movie of his life na
Yeah.
that's what happened to me. I was
Yeah.
bad. Okay, boo-hoo. Now I'll be good Loki. So,
Yeah, I'll change everything
medyo-
up.
I'm pretty sure that this was not part of the plan
Uh-huh.
until they saw how good Tom Hiddleston was.
Yeah.
And how, like, my gosh, this guy cannot be just a villain. He can be his own full-on hero. Why
Yeah.
don't we retcon the whole, let's think of a way to spin off a Loki that's actually a hero, that's no
Yeah.
longer a bad guy, diba?
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure he is unique in the MCU, in that universe, na ganun siya kagaling as an actor. Take
Yeah.
away the character. Ganun siya kagaling as an actor that he owned the role so well that he became every bit the hero that Thor was. And they were thinking, halika, gawin na natin siyang hero and put him in a TV show on his own and give him his own franchise.
But you know what?
Ganun siya ka-amazing.
I do have to say though, with the first episode of Loki season 2, it makes me kind of want to rewatch the entirety of Loki season 1, just because. Okay, let me put it this way: if you've never seen season 1 of Loki and you jump into season 2, you'll have no idea what the f is going on.
Mhm.
Like you will have zero idea of what the heck is going on. So it's best to like rewatch the entire thing, or maybe like look for one of those recaps on like YouTube or something to that effect, because it's so they go so deep with the whole timeline thing, and
Uh,
it is a little confusing if you just walk into it blindly.
Actually, safe to say, na
Hmm.
it's one of those second seasons that you have to watch
Yeah,
season one.
yeah.
Medyo, you'll be like, actually, to be honest, even people who've watched season
Yeah.
one were a little bit like, what's going on?
uh
Yung medyo, I
like
think
ako,
the whole point,
I couldn't remember. So I remember the Hunter,
mm,
the one of the TVA. Pero hindi ko na maalala kung why X5 ba? X5 was it? Is so mad at Loki.
mm.
Like I can't remember that part. So alam mo yung parang after watching the first episode of season 2, I kind of want to go back at least like maybe a couple of episodes into season 1. And like because there's been so much that happened since the first season of Loki, parang I don't even remember. Well, I remember, of course, that they ended up meeting with Kang the Conqueror or
Mm.
whatever. But like because of how Ant-Man Quantumania, parang na-overlap na ng memories ko of Kang. What happened between Loki in the first season? May ganun
I
na
was
siya.
going to say, nga na parang I think people who are watching Loki season 2
Hmm.
are probably reminded that kasi nga because of Spider-Man and Ant-Man, parang naano natin na dun inintroduce yung multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people forgot that it was actually here.
Mm-hmm. That
It
it
was
started,
actually Loki that laid out, the whole
siya yung naglatag
multiverse.
ng
Siya yung
timelines.
naglatag talaga. And parang it's come to full fruition in like, Spider-Man and Ant-Man. So it would be interesting, how it bounces back to that. And I think a lot of it talaga has to do with what the beauty of it is, like it's very camp. Wag
Yeah.
mo na masyadong seryosohin kasi like alam mo yung literally kulang na lang they call the machines, oh, the thingamabob, the thingamajig, because don't take it seriously. Kasi I don't
Yeah.
think even the show is taking it seriously. Kumbaga, just enjoy the ride
Right.
and how people are just having fun with it. Si Kihi Kwan,
Who is so good
Owen
here?
Wilson, and,
I gotta say.
Tom Hiddleston. Alam mo yung dinodog show na lang nila yung parang wag nyo na seryosohin yung mumbo jumbo nila about
Uh,
how they're going to save it. Kasi kahit sila, hindi nila siniseryoso.
and especially that, okay, there's just one scene. So basically, what happens to Loki here is he's time slipping. So
Mm.
he goes back into the past and then goes back to and then back into the present, right? And then, as in literal, habang nagko-converse si Owen Wilson, who nails this role, by the way. What's Kiwan's name here? Obi. Si
Ouroboros.
Obi.
Ouroboros, yeah.
So Obi and Owen Wilson's character there, Obi and Mobius and Loki, they're all talking in the same room. Loki slips out, and then Obi does not know who Loki is. But because Loki goes back into the past, has a conversation with him while this is happening in the present, by the time that Loki goes back to the present, parang si Obi is like, oh, yeah, you. Like I've met you before. Ang galing lang nung how they were able to do that. Na parang the past and the present are coexisting at the same time.
Pero gets, like
Pero
when
ang
you, di
gulo
ba,
niya.
inaano natin na parang, very problematic yung ganyan kasi nga parang like when you do something as major as that, how
Yeah.
can you assure that you'll end up in the same spot in the present when you've already changed so much in the past? Diba? Pero yun
Yeah.
nga na parang just like remember when we talked about ano yun, A Time Called You, wag
Yeah.
nyo nang problemahin yun. Just kumbaga sakyan nyo na lang and you'll have fun. Kasi when you get into the whole, oh, but wait, if you went to the past and changed this, what makes you think that everything in the present will remain? Well, don't.
Yeah. Don't
Don't
try to
even
overanalyze
bother.
it. I'm sure that like if you do deep dive into it and like really try to figure it out, I'm sure you'll see like some pattern there. Pero parang you can also enjoy it at a shallow
Enjoy it na
level.
lang.
Oh, just enjoy it na lang.
Oh, exactly.
Ang
And
galing.
I'm pretty excited kasi I want to see where they're going to take this, because remember, like we said, this is actually very crucial in the MCU
For the MCU,
because
yeah,
it
especially with the
introduced
timeline that they're with the direction that they're taking now.
and
It really kind of explains it.
post Spider-Man and Ant-Man,
Mm.
where will they take this and
Yeah.
Kang? And with the whole, remember the whole
Plus, I also want to see if Tom Hiddleston will actually make it back into the MCU movies
that's
somehow.
true.
Diba?
Kasi parang siya and Gamora, we were introduced with a second version of the character.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
like, diba si Gamora, like, found her way to become a second Gamora. There was a Gamora that died, but then there's a second Gamora. Now we have a second Loki. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right, but you can check it out already. It is just one episode for now. So, yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Again, I think if you have the time, rewatch Loki season 1 and then watch this again, and I feel like it'll feel more connected. You won't be like, huh? Ano nga ba nangyari? And the problem kasi is while you're trying to figure that out, obviously things are happening on screen, so you're kind of missing out on that. So unless you're the type who will pause and try to remember and then play again, then I guess it all works out. So yeah, you can check it out. It's on Disney Plus. Loki season 2. It's out now.
All right. So we'll see you next episode.
That's right. Of course, we want to thank our partners, the Pod Network Entertainment. You can check us out on social media. It's at Chico Garcia, at Gino.Killiamore for me. Only fun on Instagram as well.
There you go. Bye, guys.
Bye.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.